thank you. So our 8 sessions for the entire duration of the summer conference and our 3rd session for the 2nd day. Our presenter and speaker for the day is the Assistant Director for Operations of the Lasalle University Libraries. She has finished her bachelor's degree and master's degree from the University of the Philippines School of Library and Information Studies. She has served as Reader Services Coordinator, as Reader Services Librarian, as Public Programs Librarian, and Assistant Director for Support Services of the Lasalle University. Ma'am Marianne's major areas of competencies are on information literacy, digital reference services, collection assessment, user studies, and bibliometrics. Our speaker for today is the 7th placer for the board exam for librarianship in 2000. And in 2012, she was awarded the Gawad Chancellor for Natatanging Research, Professional and Extension Staff, given by the University of the Philippines, Diliman. And in 2013, she was awarded the Young Achievers Award by the University of the Philippines Library Science Alumni Association. Let us all welcome our afternoon speaker, Director Marianne Ramos, Eclevia. A round of applause, please. And Ma'am Eclevia, thank you very much for your kind words kanina in the morning session that we had. Thank you po. The Zoom.
Thank you, Martin.
Yours.
Yeah, thank you, Martin, for that kind introduction. Likewise, thank you to Paul for giving me this opportunity once again to share the findings of my paper on librarians' self-efficacy in conducting survey research. All right, so let me proceed to my next slide. On your screen are graphs from Scopus extracted last April 21, 2022. And we can see from the graphs that the research productivity of librarians across the globe has increased over the years. As of September 29, 2020, a total of 36,962 documents were published in 308 Scopus journals in the field of library and information science from 2017 to 2020. According to Saif Loga and Sakaria in 2015, more and more academic librarians with the faculty status have published research as a requirement or condition for getting tenure or promotion. Librarians have done research to study their professional practice from the insider's viewpoint, to inform best library practices, to inculcate practices in research, and also to contribute to LIS literature. Research publications of librarians focus more on professional practice about technical services, users and user services, information retrieval, LIS staff and organization, information literacy, electronic publication. Like other professionals, practicing librarians also face some challenges that have hindered them from doing research or for publication efforts. Some of these challenges are lack of time, lack of institutional support, lack of training, heavy workload, and absence of formal mentoring program. Some practicing librarians also believe that they lack competence to conduct research and have reservations about their ability to publish their findings in a peer-reviewed publication. This may be related to the perceived self-efficacy of librarians. So what is self-efficacy? According to Bandura in 1997, the notion of self-efficacy is defined as people's belief about their ability to organize and execute courses of actions necessary to achieve a goal. Bandura explains that self-efficacy beliefs impact people's choices, efforts, perseverance, and the desire to accomplish a given task or goal. Self-efficacy beliefs pertain to what a person believes they are capable of doing, independent of their actual ability. And that is according to Evers et al. In 2002. Heng et al. Noted that research self-efficacy refers to confidence of an individual in their ability to succeed in various aspects of the research process. So research self-efficacy is one of the most important predictors of research success according to Kennedy and Broncaloni and Levinti et al. In 2021. Recent studies defined research self-efficacy as an individual's confidence or belief in his or her ability to successfully complete various components of the scientific research process, such as the data gathering, performing experimental procedures, and writing papers. Ramin and Agazaden in 2014 said that research self-efficacy also entails assessing an individual's readiness to perform research activities. For my operational definition, survey research self-efficacy refers to the individual's beliefs about their ability to perform several activities or tasks involved in the conduct of survey research. Applying an appropriate methodology according to Ula and Rafik in 2021 is necessary for producing high-quality research. However, Apolinario et al. In 2014 found that some Filipino librarians do not have enough expertise in research methods. Lack of competence and confidence in applying research method is one of the barriers preventing many librarians from doing research. Vanskoy and Fontana noted that a lack of expertise in methodology can result in the misuse of statistical tests and procedures. Similarly, Clark and Mulligan in 2011 reported some research methodological mistakes in clinical research, such as failure to identify and report errors in the measurement methods, failure to indicate the inclusion and exclusion criteria for selecting the population or sample, failure to examine the normality of the data, failure to report missing data, among others. As such, practicing librarians who have been conducting research or emerging practitioner researcher in our field must develop their knowledge and skills in research methodology to avoid the above-mentioned mistakes. This study was conducted to address the following research questions. The first one is, what is the survey research self-efficacy level and research competence level of practicing librarians in the Philippines? What is the relationship between librarians' survey research self-efficacy and their age, educational attainment, and research competence? Third, what is the difference in librarian surveys research self-efficacy when grouped according to their age, educational attainment, and research competence? And finally, what training program can be developed to enhance practicing librarians' survey research self-efficacy and research competence? The findings of this study could be beneficial to professional library associations like PAAR and LISU schools by deepening their understanding of the research self-efficacy and research competence of practicing librarians. The results will also form the basis for developing a training program to enhance the research methodology skills of librarians. Professional library associations and libraries may use the proposed training program as an output of this study to conduct training, seminar workshops for librarians. This exploratory descriptive research used an online survey method. Several research self-efficacy skills have been tested, validated, and actually published. However, these instruments, such as the work of Brancaloni and Kennedy in 2017, include all items about the entire research process. But I'm only interested in knowing the self-efficacy of the librarians, particularly in conducting research using survey research method. So I developed, since I did not find any skill that matched my need, so I developed the survey research self-efficacy scale based on the survey research process and guidelines as defined by Artino et al. In 2014, Jones et al. In 2013, and Su and Ritter in 2011. The scale, which is the survey research self-efficacy scale, includes 26 tasks or activities associated with the survey research, including defining the objectives, population and sampling technique, designing data collection technique, instrument development, data collection, data management, data analysis, and dissemination of survey results. The items are scored on a 5-point Likert scale, 1 being the not at all confident and 5 being the very confident. Additionally, the respondents were asked to rate their overall research competence level, from fundamental awareness for having a basic knowledge of research, novice for having a limited research experience, intermediate for having a practical application of research, the fourth level, advanced, and the fifth level is the expert level. The questionnaire was created via Google Forms and distributed to the target participants on July 3, 2021. So this paper used convenience sampling for data collection. Practicing librarians who attended the Survey Research 101 webinar series organized by Regalo Touching Lives held on July 4, 2021 were invited to participate in the online survey. Shout out po sa lahat ng nag-attend sa Regalo Touching Lives webinar on research, Survey Research 101. So an email invitation was sent to librarians who registered for the said webinar. So respondents were fully aware of the research objectives before implicitly agreeing to the to have their data included in the study. They were also informed that participating in the survey was purely voluntary and that they were free to withdraw at any time. Given that the participation was voluntary, only highly motivated librarians answered the survey. So therefore, the sample is only a subset of librarians and does not represent all the practicing Filipino librarians in the country. After data cleaning, 209 practicing librarians were included in the sample. So table 1 presents the demographics of the respondents. So majority of the respondents had an undergrad degree and were 25 to 40 years old. So exploratory factor analysis and Cronbach's alpha were carried out using SPSS to establish the construct validity and reliability of the scale. Prior to, yes? Hello? Okay,
Yes, Ma'am Yani, ano pong paano?
No, I heard my name.
Wala po, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So I continue. So as I mentioned, I use EFA and Cronbach. So prior to factor analysis, preliminary analysis were conducted to identify outliers and to verify the normality, homogeneity of variance. Normality and homogeneity of variance. As the data contained no significant outliers, only moderate outliers were seen. No? So I did not exclude them from the analysis. Most of the 26 research items in the scale were negatively skewed, thus the data were not distributed normally. Levin's test indicated that the assumption of homogeneity of variance have been violated. The 26 items on the scale were factor analyzed using principal component method of extraction with varimax rotation. The EFA analysis revealed two constructs. The first one is questionnaire design and data management that includes 16 items out of 26. The second construct is instrument validation and data analysis consisting of 10 items out of 26. Given the violation for the normal distribution and homogeneity of variance, non-parametric tests were used for analysis. So Spearman-Rowe correlation was computed to measure the correlation between variables. The independent samples Kruskal-Wallis test was calculated to determine whether there were differences in the survey research self-efficacy scores when respondents were grouped by age, educational attainment, and research competence. For the major findings of my study, overall, respondents have moderate confidence level or are moderately confident in the performance of survey research related tasks as shown in table 3. The mean scores of the respondents indicate that their perceived self-efficacy for for the questionnaire design and data management is higher than their perceived self-efficacy for instrument validation and data analysis. Now, as you can see, the mean score is higher, 3.57 versus 3.32. The respondents are moderately confident in most survey research-related activities. The mean scores at the item levels reveal that the highest item mean score for self-efficacy in questionnaire design and data management is identifying the population to be surveyed, no? And the lowest is selecting an appropriate sampling technique. In addition, the respondents are confident in carrying out the following tasks, no? Writing a good cover letter with a privacy consent form, creating questionnaire, online questionnaire using Google form or online survey forms, archiving research data for future use, conducting a literature search to identify existing tested and validated questionnaire, and obtaining permission to conduct the survey. So in those tasks, many librarians or respondents in this study showed or reported average confidence level. In terms of instrument validation and data analysis, self-efficacy, the highest item mean score is execute the survey in the field, and the lowest mean score analyze the survey data using statistical software. So ibig pong sabihin nito, mas mababa yung perceived self-efficacy, no? Yung perception ng mga librarians to conduct analysis of data or data analysis using statistical software. The results show that respondents are more confident in determining the reliability and validity of the instrument than they are in analyzing the data using statistical software. With regard to their research competence, nearly 35% of the respondents indicated that they had a novice level of research competence. Little more than 30% of the respondents perceive their competence as intermediate, or they have a practical application of research. Also, 73 respondents, or that is 30.1%, perceive their research competence as fundamental awareness, or they have basic knowledge of the survey research process. Only 8 respondents indicated that they have advanced research competence. So the overall mean score indicates that, in general, respondents have a novice level of research competence. This table summarizes the computed Spearman-Ross correlation of variables. The results show a significant positive correlation between respondents' survey research self-efficacy and their level of research competence. Although the association is weak positive, it is highly significant at p-value of 0.01. Moreover, Spearman-Ross results indicate that the age and educational attainment of the respondents are not correlated with their perceived self-efficacy for survey research. As shown in this table, the Kruskal-Wallis test rejects the null hypothesis that there is no significant difference in the survey research self-efficacy across categories of research competence. Thus, the distribution of survey research self-efficacy scores varies by research competence level. When the difference in self-efficacy for the construct, questionnaire, design, and data management were examined, the Kruskal-Wallis indicate that significant differences across ages and research competence categories was observed. Furthermore, significant differences in the self-efficacy for instrument validation and data analysis construct between age groups and research competence level was also evident. Looking at the box plot, visually, you can say that we can conclude that we can interpret this box plot that respondents with the basic research skills tend to have lower self-efficacy than respondents with high research skills. As you can see here, the box plot. Respondents with advanced research skills tend to have higher self-efficacy scores, both on questionnaire design and data management construct and instrument validation and data analysis construct. So makikita niyo po yung expert, nandun sila sa mataas na mean or median, no? This study sought to assess practicing librarians' self-efficacy in performing various survey research activities. So in general, practicing librarians have greater confidence in carrying out related tasks to no? Or tasks related to questionnaire design and data management than those of tasks related to instrument validation and data analysis. According to Williams in 2009, a high confidence level is generally described as having a strong self-efficacy. Low confidence level can be described as a low self-efficacy. So therefore, moderately confident practicing librarians can be characterized as having average or moderate self-efficacy in the conduct of survey research process. The positive correlation between the respondents' survey research self-efficacy and their level of research competence suggests that the higher the level of research competence, the stronger the survey research self-efficacy. Respondents with an advanced level of research competence tend to have higher self-efficacy scores. On the other hand, those with novice research competence are more likely to have low-level self-efficacy. Respondents' age and educational attainment are not correlated with their perceived self-efficacy, and previous studies corroborated these findings. The two studies by Broncoloni and Kennedy found similar findings related to data analysis, wherein academic librarians scored low in implementing the best data analysis technique or strategy. In addition, Apolinario et al.'s findings found this moderate level of confidence among Filipino librarians who have an average level of research confidence in designing an experiment or theoretical test for hypothesis and statistically analyzing data. Moreover, Spearman's raw results indicate that the age of the respondents or librarians is not correlated with their perceived self-efficacy for survey research. My findings is consistent with the studies of Libinti et al. In 2021 and Vaccaro in 2009. However, the results from my study and from the study of Libinti and Vaccaro were different from those findings of Nazari et al. In 2021, because Nazari et al. Found that there is a correlation between education and research self-efficacy scores. No? But in my study, the educational attainment is not correlated with survey research self-efficacy score. Also, there's a significant difference in the self-efficacy for instrument validation and data analysis construct between age groups and research competence were observed. No? In relation to this, Nazari et al. Found a significant difference between students' research self-efficacy scores and their age. So, however, in contrast to the observation of Nazari et al., the Kruskal-Wallis test for my study reveals no significant difference in the perceived self-efficacy for survey research across educational attainment categories. So Brancaloni and Kennedy in 2017 believed that a research training program for novice researchers can enhance research self-efficacy. In the study of Apolinario et al. In 2014, Filipino librarians feel that they need training in research writing to improve their confidence in research, particularly in developing a conceptual and theoretical framework, analyzing the data, and reporting the findings of their study. According to Anderson et al., librarians' research abilities benefit not only them personally and professionally, but also library patrons who seek assistance from professionals like librarians who are familiar with the research procedures and tools. Therefore, library associations and libraries must provide research training for practicing librarians. When librarians have a strong survey research self-efficacy, they will become more positive about research and their productivity will increase. I believe they will become more engaged with research and become effective in providing research assistance to students and faculty members. When providing training for librarians, library associations and libraries must consider the training environment because according to Vaccaro's study in 2009, training environment is positively correlated with research self-efficacy. So many respondents reported having research competence from fundamental awareness to a novice or limited experience. The ability of practicing librarians to conduct research using a survey method can be described as moderate or average self-efficacy. So studying at the item mean scores, we can say that practicing librarians are less confident when analyzing the data using statistical software, identifying the appropriate statistical test to be carried out, selecting the appropriate report types to describe or report the survey data, and deciding on what type of variables to measure. Among these group of respondents who were participants of the Survey Research 101 webinar, the mean scores indicated that they are more confident in identifying the population to be surveyed, obtaining permission to conduct the survey, archiving the research data, and conducting literature search to find existing validated instrument. So considering their ability, a training program has been developed. So I personally developed this program to help them enhance their research competencies. The proposed training program will cover the steps of the survey research process. Overall, the program will require 13.5 hours to complete. The target participants of this course will be introduced to Jamovi, an open source statistical software. So this is the coverage of the module 1, the Survey Research 101, the basic concepts of survey research. The content will include survey methods, the concepts, strengths and weaknesses of survey research, types of surveys, types of quantitative research questions, levels of measurements, and the types of variables. For module 2, which is the instrument development and validation, the participants are expected to apply, at the end of the training, apply the basic principles of survey design, test the reliability and validity of a questionnaire. So ito yung coverage niya, steps in developing questionnaire, basic principles, writing the cover letter, writing the survey question, and so on. So the module 3 deals with data collection and cleaning data. No? So the content and key concepts of sample and sampling, steps of the sampling process, types of probability and non-probability sampling, census and sample size, data collection, coding, and cleaning using Excel. For module 4, this will focus on exploratory descriptive analysis. So ang content ay descriptive statistics, frequency distribution, central tendency, plots, and graphs. For module 5, we'll focus on basic inferential statistics, the coverage, parametric and non-parametric tests, common statistical assumptions of parametric tests, writing the null and alternative hypothesis, statistical tests for different variables and measurement level, tests for correlation, Pearson and Spearman-Rowe, and tests for comparison using one-way ANOVA and Kruskal-Wallis. For the conclusion, so the overall findings of this study indicate that the survey research self-efficacy of practicing librarian is moderate, no? And the data indicate also that the survey research self-efficacy is positively correlated with research competence. Significant difference in the self-efficacy scores were observed when respondents were grouped according to their research competencies. Practicing librarians with advanced research competence are more likely to have higher self-efficacy scores. Finally, I conclude that there is a need for practicing librarians to enhance their skills in designing a questionnaire, selecting sampling techniques, testing the reliability and validity of the instrument, and applying the most appropriate statistical tests to improve the quality of their research. According to Bandura in 1997, mastery experience helps individuals build confidence through success and gives them the ability to persevere in the face of challenging situations. This perseverance is essential in executing complex research tasks, as mentioned earlier. Therefore, practicing librarians, to have that confidence, they must engage in research to fully experience the research process. As the famous quote says, experience is the best teacher, and the worst experiences teach the best lesson. So practicing librarians should hit the road. They should start getting involved in the research process. They may begin by attending training and seminar workshops to deepen their knowledge and understanding of survey methodology concepts and other research methods. Next, they translate their knowledge and skills into research activities with their peers, no? Promoting research collaboration among Filipino librarians. Practicing librarians may also collaborate with local and international research, no? Or international publication who have conducted and published research to further learn from their experiences. This study recommends that professional library associations, calling out PAAR, no, to provide learning opportunities for practicing librarians to support them in developing their research skills. Library leadership can create a research mentorship program for librarians in the workplace, as well as institutional support for research, particularly for academic librarians with faculty status, must be put in place. With regard to the LIS curriculum at the graduate level, a capstone paper can be one of the requirements for all subjects to help students enhance their overall research skills and increase their research engagement. this study has a certain limitation concerning the research method, because the population were selected, no, using convenience sampling. No? There could be a response bias, no. So participants whom may have attended the webinar because of their perceived low confidence, no. So probably yung mga umattend doon sa, probably lang this is just my opinion, that yung mga umattend ng webinar, they have perceived low confidence. That's why they attended the webinar to improve their knowledge, no, to gain more a better understanding of the survey research. So those who have more experience in doing survey research may not attended the said webinar. So we can say that respondents were not truly representative of Filipino librarians. Therefore, the result of the survey cannot be generalized, no? Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na yung findings dito ay totoo sa lahat ng mga Filipino librarians. Further study on survey research self-efficacy of practicing librarians using the same instrument may be conducted, but open to more respondents, no, to avoid response bias. This study also recommends further investigation of predictors of survey research self-efficacy and other factors associated with it, such as research attitudes, research anxiety, research engagement, research productivity. And in addition, a further study must be conducted also to assess the effectiveness of the proposed training program on the perceived survey research self-efficacy of the participants. So here are my references. You may consult them for further reading. And that would be all. Thank you very much for your time listening.
Thank you very much po, Director Eclevia.
I'm not yet director. Assistant pa lang.
Assistant pa lang.
Huwag kang maingay.
So, kanina pa po may naka-raise na hands. So, I don't know if they can type their questions for our Q&A. Si Ma'am Maria Wilma Gallego and also Anelia Bugaay have raised their hands, no? There's a question here from Laila Ariate. How will you persuade librarians to conduct research? So yan po yung tanong, Ma'am Eclevia. How will you persuade librarians to conduct research? Naka-mute po kayo, ma'am.
Sadly, it's not part of my paper, no. It was not part of the objective of the paper to convince, librarians to conduct research. But to answer your question based on my opinion, how do I convince you? Well, based on my opinion and experience, I've conducted a number of research, and those research papers were instrument for me to see the other places of the world. So I had a chance to travel beginning in 2011. So with the research I did, I was able to participate and establish linkages internationally. And aside from that, with the research, I gain more insights. Mas napapalalim yung aking understanding with different issues, problems related to our profession. So Kung gusto niyong makita ang ibang lugar, aside from the Philippines, magsulat kayo. Mag-submit kayo ng paper sa international conference and kumuha kayo ng passport. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you po, Ma'am Eclevia. Siyempre, tama po yun. Una muna, passport. Sabi po ni Anelia Bugaay, very nice topic. Thank you very much po for your sharings. Meron po tayong dalawa sa Q&A. How can we strengthen from menace? No? Conducting library survey of librarians.
Okay, thank you for that question. Yun nga po, no, nabanggit na dun sa findings and recommendation that training, no, conducting training for librarians about the survey research methods could help them, no, become more confident, become more knowledgeable, and because of that confidence, they will be motivated to produce research, more research. So, and then, mentorship. According to, let me share with you the findings, no, the findings of a related paper, a collaborative research paper by Ramos, Eclevia et al. In 2018. So to strengthen the skills, no, how can we strengthen, no, the skills? Probably, no, mag-introduce kayo ng incentive program for those who can publish research, no, who can produce and publish research. Also, as mentioned earlier, you can develop and implement a research mentoring program. Provide access to LIS resources to librarians, like yung mga LIS journals natin para mayroon silang magamit. And I would like to reiterate, emphasize there's a need to conduct research capacity building seminar workshop or courses, no? And also to provide venues, more venues for librarians to share their scholarly works, no? So I commend PAAL for continuously conducting the PAAL National Research Summer Conference, wherein they invite librarians to submit papers. So parang ito yung nagiging training ground nila before they go at the international conference. No? So I hope I was able to answer your question, Menes.
Ma'am Eclevia, thank you very much po. Very clear po yung mga sagot niyo, tsaka yung pointers are very specific. And narinig po ni Paarl, yung sabi niyo kanina na Paarl should do more training activities for research. So I'm sure that they will be doing this the next year para maraming research ang magawa. Thank you very much.
And sabi nila may pera daw sa research. Hindi ko alam kung gaano katotoo yon, pero why not? Try nyo. Baka isa rin kayo sa magpatotoo na may pera sa research.
Actually, maganda po yung topic nyo kasi there are so many data that are available inside the library. Pero hindi ito nagagamit ng librarian to make a research. Dapat sana yung data nila sa library, gawin nilang research. Katulad ng ginagawa ng Lasalle, ginagawa ng UP, ginagawa ng other library schools. No? Kasi yung mga report nila, dapat yung ginagawa ding research. No, ma'am? Thank you very much po. Meron pa po tayong mga tanong. Naku, mukhang very nice topic daw po, ma'am. Thank you. Binanggit na rin po dito.
Thank you.
Incentives. Nabanggit na doon po ni Ma'am Eclevia yan. Binanggit din po yung tukol sa CHED CMO that librarians should do their research already. Nabanggit na ni Ma'am yan. Si Marcela Figura is saying, great presentation. Thank you po. From
Thank
Hannah
you.
Carnelli, very nice topic. Looking forward for the soft copy ng presentations. Rest assured po, we will give you a copy of that. From Estrellita de la Cruz, salamat po. So ma'am, puro thank you very much po yung kanilang messages for you. Walang gusto magtanong.
There are 2 questions in the Q&A box.
Ito na po. Thank you po. I saw that. Can research expertise help librarians to be more efficient in their respective work?
Okay, so thank you for that question again. Kaso hindi siya hindi siya part ng paper ko. Hindi natin malalaman kung talagang yung research based on my study, hindi masasagot yung question mo na research expertise help librarians to be more efficient. No? So we have to investigate that. Tingnan natin maigi by yung scientific conduct of research to really know whether it is efficient. It is more efficient for librarians with research expertise to perform their work. However, based on literature, and nabanggit ko na kaninang pahapyaw nito, that when a librarian has research expertise, research experience, they could provide a better service or research assistance to their patrons. Because, syempre, yung librarian na naiintindihan niya yung hirap, yung mga concepts, yung mga research methods and materials na kakailanganin ng isang researcher, mas madali niyang mahanap. And kapag halimbawa for example, ang isang graduate student lumapit sa inyo, may problem siya about sa kanyang thesis. At dahil meron kang research experience, meron kang research expertise, hindi ngayon para sa'yo ay dahil magiging familiar ka dun sa mga sinasabi ng graduate students. Hindi siya nagsasalita ng mga Greek words, as compared kapag nagsabi siya na meron ba kayong SPSS, meron ba kayong Jamovi, paano ba gawin yung may problem ako sa parametric test ko, ganyan. So sasabihin niya, parang kapag meron ka ng experience, gano'n, may knowledge ka, mas madali mo siyang matulungan because madali kayong magkaintindihan. So in that context, example na situation na yon ay pwede nating sabihin na mas efficient, mas efficient yung performance ng librarian na mayroong background sa research. But we have to test that through scientific research kung talagang meron. So sa opinion ko lang na gano'n. So pwede niyong gawing research problem yon.
Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you. There's another question from Andre Pochoro Torres, pero parang hindi rin sakop. Ito kasi it's about government budget. Is there any budget from government that will support in conducting a research? Thank you po.
Ayan. I'm from private institution na ako, for more than 10 years. For 10 years na, as far as I know, merong mga budget, mga research grants na binibigay ang government, ang CHED, ang mga iba't ibang research institutions, pero competitive sila. So you have to apply, like ang NCCA, di ba? Meron silang research grants. Ang PAARL, meron silang research grants. So kailangan nyo lang mag-apply to avail of the research grants. And probably our colleagues from the government sectors or government institutions in this room could also give us more information about this, no? Kasi I have very limited knowledge na about research grants from the government sector. Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you po. Meron po ulit tanong. This may be out of context with the topic, but may I ask who is already a member of a consortium as part of library services you offer? And what are your experiences regarding this? Is it worth to have subscription of this consortium?
Okay. So it's 1:59 na, no? Meron pa ba tayong time to answer this question?
Ma'am, sige, pwede pa po tayong mag-extend.
Okay.
Ano naman
Sige.
tayo?
Okay. To answer this, ano ba ang you're asking me if DLSU is part of any library consortium? Tama ba? Ang DLSU, marami siyang membership to different consortium. Like, nandyan yung DLSP, nandyan yung SMEC, nandyan yung SELF, nandyan yung ONILO. Ayan. So, marami siyang membership. So, what are your experiences regarding this? Is it worth to have subscription of consortium? Worth. Kailangan nating ma-define yan, no? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng worth? Ano ang indicator mo ng worthiness ng subscription? To answer your question simply, merong benefits ang consortium subscription. So merong benefits yun sa library. For I would like to cite na lang, no, yung halimbawa yung self subscription for engineering collection. So bibilin lang namin yung 35 titles of ebooks, and then yun lang yung babayaran namin. Tapos the other selections ng member libraries, magkakaroon din kami ng access dun sa license to access, no? Their purchases. No? So, ibig sabihin, with consortium purchase, mas tumataas yung iyong purchasing power. Mas nagkakaroon ka ng mas maraming, wider access to more collection. Again, kailangan natin yan i-test, no? Kung totoo ba yan, yung ganyang experience across different libraries, across different member libraries ng mga consortium. Baka kasi ako lang yung nag-iisip nun, yung iba hindi pala.
Okay, thank you very much po, sabi ni Maria Wilma Gallego. Thank you po, Ma'am Marianne, for sharing your paper on conducting survey research. There's a comment from Virgie Reconalia. Hopefully po, as mentioned earlier, may mag-study about research motivation or factors affecting the percentage of librarians who did and published their research studies. Thanks for sharing your valuable study. From Andre Pacholo Torres. Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Since we are already right on time, let me read the citation for the certificate. PAARL, in partnership with Elsevier, presents this certificate of appreciation to Ms. Marianne R. Eclevia in grateful recognition and sincere appreciation for sharing her invaluable time, knowledge, and expertise as a speaker at the 2022 PAARL National Summer Conference with the theme Catalyst for Change, Transforming Library Services, Collections, and Communities in Times of Challenges, held via Zoom on 28-29 April 2022, signed by the Conference Chair Committee and Vice President of PAARL, Ms. Kimberly Ann O. Soria, and signed by our President, Sharon S. Samaniego. Thank you very much, ma'am. Congratulations po for a wonderful discussion and topic presentation po.
Thank you also, Martin. Thank you, PAARL.
So we're ready for our photo op. Nandiyan na po ba yung ating mga camera ladies?
Sir, stop po. Screen sharing.
Yun. So,
Ready na po. 1, 2, 3. Thank you po.
okay. Thank you very much.